Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchTop. Today, we're diving into something a little different, the top 20 cozy games on Nintendo Switch. These are the games you play when you want to relax after a long day. Games with no stress, no timers counting down, just pure comfort gaming. Whether you're looking to unwind or just need a break from intense action titles, these games have got you covered. Let's count down the coziest experiences on Switch. Winter Burrow is a cozy survival experience that blends gentle challenge with heartfelt atmosphere, placing you in the role of a small mouse returning from the city to a long-abandoned childhood burrow. The core gameplay revolves around venturing into a snowy wilderness to forage for essentials like wood, grass, food, and crafting materials, while carefully managing warmth and hunger. Survival systems are present but intentionally forgiving, encouraging relaxed exploration rather than constant pressure. Resources gathered outdoors feed into a satisfying crafting loop, where you knit sweaters to endure the cold, bake comforting meals and drinks to restore energy, and rebuild or decorate your burrow to make it feel like home again. Exploration is driven by curiosity instead of maps, giving the world a storybook quality where learning paths and landmarks feels natural. Along the way, you encounter other woodland creatures who offer small quests and interactions that subtly expand both gameplay and narrative. The story unfolds quietly through environmental details and moments of restoration, centered on rebuilding the burrow and uncovering traces of family and memory. Tiny Bookshop is a cozy, low-pressure management experience that centers on the simple joy of sharing stories, placing you in charge of a small, mobile bookshop set against a calm seaside town. The core loop revolves around choosing where to park your book trailer each day, stocking shelves with a carefully curated selection of books, and arranging decorations that give your shop personality, while subtly improving customer interactions. Gameplay leans into thoughtful decision-making rather than speed or difficulty, encouraging you to match readers with books that fit their tastes, moods, or personal requests, which creates a satisfying sense of connection rather than profit-driven optimization. Inventory management feels tactile and deliberate, as books come with descriptions that help guide recommendations and make each choice feel meaningful. Beyond the shop itself, the town is filled with locals whose routines and small personal stories unfold gradually as you become a familiar presence, turning daily conversations into gentle narrative progression. There are no harsh fail states or stressful timers. Instead, the game emphasizes rhythm, atmosphere, and intention, letting you play at your own pace. Disney Dreamlight Valley drops you into a once magical realm that's been corrupted by a mysterious force called the Forgetting. And it's your job to restore the valley and help Disney and Pixar characters remember who they are. The gameplay combines life simulation with light adventure elements as you farm crops, cook meals, fish, mine for resources, and complete quests for iconic characters like Mickey Mouse, Elsa, Moana, and Wally. Each character has their own storyline that unlocks as you build friendship with them, revealing what happened during the Forgetting and how you can help them overcome their struggles. The valley is divided into different biomes that you'll gradually unlock by spending Dreamlight, a currency earned through completing daily tasks and achievements. You can customize your character with hundreds of Disney-themed clothing options and decorate the entire valley with furniture and themed items. The crafting system is surprisingly deep, with recipes for meals that serve as gifts or energy restoration, and furniture that you can place anywhere in the valley to create your ideal Disney neighborhood. Coffee Talk puts you behind the counter of a late-night coffee shop in an alternate Seattle, where humans, elves, orcs, and other fantasy races coexist in modern society. Your role as the barista is to listen to customers' problems, serve them drinks, and occasionally offer advice that might influence their lives. The gameplay revolves around mixing drinks using different ingredients like coffee, tea, milk, and various flavors to fulfill customer orders or create something you think suits their mood. Each night brings different customers dealing with real-world issues like relationship troubles, career stress, racism, and social pressure. But viewed through the lens of this fantasy setting, where an elf and succubus dating faces societal judgment. The dialogue is incredibly well written and natural, making each character feel genuine despite the fantasy elements. Your drink-making choices and occasional dialogue responses can subtly affect how characters' stories unfold, though the game never makes these choices feel heavy or stressful. The lo-fi hip-hop soundtrack creates this perfect late-night atmosphere that makes you feel like you're really in a cozy coffee shop at 2 a.m. Snufkin, Melody of Moominvalley, is an adventure game based on Tove Janssen's beloved Moomin stories, where you play as the wandering musician Snufkin, returning to Moominvalley for spring. The park inspector has taken over the valley, installing rules and regulations everywhere, and it's up to you to restore freedom by removing signs and helping the valley's inhabitants. The gameplay focuses on exploration, music, and non-violent problem-solving as you navigate through beautifully illustrated environments inspired by the original Moomin artwork. You'll use your harmonica to learn songs from nature and other characters, which can then be played to solve puzzles or calm aggressive park inspectors who are just following orders. The game has light stealth sections where you avoid or distract inspectors rather than confronting them, staying true to Snufkin's peaceful philosophy. You'll help various Moomin characters with their problems through simple fetch quests and conversations that capture the gentle humor and wisdom of the source material. The art style uses a storybook aesthetic with soft colors and hand-drawn animations that bring the world to life. Animal Crossing New Horizons gives you a deserted island and complete freedom to transform it into whatever you can imagine. You start with just a tent and basic tools, but through gathering resources, catching bugs and fish, and selling items, you'll gradually expand your home and develop the island into a thriving community. The game runs in real time, synced to your system clock, meaning time passes whether you're playing or not, with different bugs, fish, and events available depending on the season and time of day. You'll invite animal villagers to live on your island, each with unique personalities and dialogue that makes them feel like actual neighbors you build relationships with over time. The crafting system lets you create furniture, tools, and decorations using materials gathered from trees, rocks, and beaches, while the terraforming feature unlocked later gives you godlike power to reshape cliffs, rivers, and paths. You can visit friends' islands online or invite them to yours, trading items and designs, or just hanging out. The customization is incredibly deep. You can design custom patterns for clothing, furniture, and even the ground, with some players recreating famous paintings or building elaborate themed areas. Strange Antiquities puts you in the shoes of someone who inherits their uncle's antique shop. But this isn't your typical resale business. You're dealing with magical and cursed objects that come with their own stories and dangers. The gameplay combines shop management with narrative adventures as you acquire strange items, research their histories, cleanse or repair them, and sell them to customers who need them. You'll explore various locations to find inventory, from estate sales to mysterious auctions, where you'll need to identify valuable or dangerous items using your growing knowledge. The shop management side has you pricing items, arranging displays, and negotiating with customers who each have their own reasons for seeking particular objects. The research mechanics require you to consult books, match symbols, and piece together clues about an item's origin and properties before you can safely handle it. Some items will need cleansing rituals or repairs using materials you've collected, adding light puzzle elements to the gameplay. The story unfolds through the items themselves and the customers you meet, gradually revealing why your uncle left you the shop and what responsibility comes with it. Untitled Goose Game lets you play as a mischievous goose with one simple goal: ruin everyone's day in a quaint English village. You'll waddle through different areas like a garden, high street, and pub, completing a to-do list of pranks and chaos, like stealing the groundskeeper's keys, trapping a boy in a phone booth, or making someone buy back their own stuff. The gameplay is pure slapstick comedy as you honk to startle people, grab objects with your beak, and flap your wings to create panic. Each area has specific objectives that require you to observe NPC patterns and figure out the right sequence of actions to pull off your pranks. The villagers will try to take back stolen items or shoo you away, but you're faster and more determined, leading to hilarious chase sequences. The physics-based interactions mean objects can be dragged, thrown, or knocked over, creating emergent comedy moments beyond the scripted objectives. A dynamic piano soundtrack reacts to your actions, swelling dramatically when you're spotted, or creating suspenseful moments as you sneak around. There's no dialogue, no text beyond your to-do list, just pure physical comedy and problem solving. Unpacking turns the mundane task of unpacking boxes into an incredibly emotional storytelling experience without a single word of dialogue. You'll unpack someone's belongings across 8 house moves, spanning from childhood to adulthood, placing items in appropriate spots while piecing together the story of their life through the objects they own. The gameplay is simple point and click, where you remove items from boxes and find logical places for them in various rooms. Whether that's hanging clothes in closets, arranging books on shelves, or setting up kitchen supplies, the game uses a pixel art style with incredible attention to detail. Every item is recognizable and lovingly animated, from how books fall open when placed to how picture frames sit on surfaces. As you progress through moves, you'll notice how the person's possessions change over time. Seeing childhood toys give way to professional equipment, or noticing when certain meaningful items appear or disappear from their life. The game subtly reveals relationships, career changes, and personal growth through environmental storytelling. You might realize someone's moved in with a partner when there's suddenly no space for their things, or understand a breakup when you're unpacking alone in a smaller apartment. Cozy Grove has you playing as a spirit scout who gets stranded on a haunted island inhabited by ghost bears. And your mission is to help these spirits find peace by completing their requests and uncovering their stories. The game is designed to be played in 15 to 30-minute daily sessions since it runs on real time, with new quests and dialogue appearing each real-world day, preventing binge playing and encouraging you to check in as part of your daily routine. You'll gather resources like fruit, fish, and shells scattered around the island, craft decorations and furniture, and place them strategically to bring color back to the monochrome landscape. As you help spirits and decorate, the area around you literally becomes more vibrant and alive. Each ghost bear has their own personality and backstory that unfolds over weeks of gameplay, dealing with themes like loss, regret, and acceptance in touching ways that never feel heavy-handed. The hand-drawn art style is absolutely gorgeous, with every item and character animated with personality and charm. You'll unlock new areas as you progress, meet more spirits, and discover the island's secrets while building up your campsite into a cozy home base. Animal Well is a pixel art exploration game that drops you into an interconnected underground world filled with strange creatures and mysterious machinery. You play as a small blob, navigating through dark caves, lush gardens, and abandoned structures without any combat. Instead, you'll solve environmental puzzles using items like the frisbee to hit distant switches, bubbles to create platforms, or the yo-yo to grab objects from afar. The game focuses on observation and experimentation as you figure out how different items interact with the environment and each other, opening up new paths through areas you've already explored. There's a map system that fills in as you explore, but the game never holds your hand with objective markers or tutorials, letting you discover secrets organically. The atmosphere is quietly eerie, but never threatening, with creatures that react to your presence in fascinating ways. Some ignore you, others follow curiously, and a few will chase you into different areas. The lighting effects are gorgeous, with bioluminescent plants and shafts of light breaking through darkness, creating these beautiful moments of discovery. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar is a cozy farming life sim that adds a refreshing economic twist to the familiar genre by centering progression around a lively, weekly bazaar. Set in the breezy town of Zephyr, the game has you managing a small farm where you grow crops, raise animals, forage, fish, and gather materials in a relaxed daily rhythm. Instead of simply shipping goods, your main source of income comes from personally selling items at the town bazaar, where presentation, pricing, and preparation all matter, giving farming a more hands-on and rewarding payoff. Crafting and processing play a key role, with windmills and workstations letting you turn raw materials into higher-value goods, encouraging smart planning across seasons. Fieldwork is streamlined, with smooth, satisfying actions that make tending crops feel efficient without losing its calming pace. Exploration around Zephyr Town adds light adventure through expanded areas and movement tools, making resource gathering feel more dynamic. Social elements are woven naturally into daily life, with townsfolk offering requests, friendships developing over time, and optional romance adding warmth and personality to the routine.
There!
Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma blends farming simulation with action RPG elements in a Japanese-inspired setting where you're tasked with restoring a cursed land while uncovering the mystery behind the calamity that struck the nation of Azuma. You'll split your time between cultivating crops and raising monsters turned farm animals during the day, then venturing into dungeons to fight enemies in real-time combat using swords, magic, and farming tools as weapons. The farming mechanics are deep, with soil quality, crop mutations, and the ability to grow plants in dungeons you've cleared, while the combat lets you recruit defeated monsters to help on your farm or fight alongside you. Crafting plays a huge role, as you'll forge weapons, cook meals that provide stat buffs, and create medicines from gathered materials. The story follows your character as a guardian, protecting the land from monsters while building relationships with the townspeople through festivals, requests, and daily conversations. Romance is a significant element, with multiple marriage candidates whose stories intertwine with the main plot. The game features a day-night cycle and changing seasons that affect what activities are available and which monsters appear. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, is an action RPG life sim where you choose from multiple job classes called lives and can switch between them freely while exploring a vibrant fantasy world. You start by creating your character and selecting your first life from options like Paladin for combat, Wizard for magic, Woodcutter for gathering, Blacksmith for crafting, or Cook for preparing meals, each with its own skill tree and progression system. The story centers around mysterious time anomalies affecting the world and your encounter with a girl who can manipulate time. But the narrative takes a backseat to the freedom of pursuing whichever activities interest you. You'll complete requests from townspeople, gather materials from different regions, craft equipment and items, and battle monsters in real-time combat that's simple but satisfying. The game encourages you to try multiple lives, since materials gathered as a miner can be used by your blacksmith life, and the equipment you forge helps your combat-focused lives tackle tougher enemies. The world is divided into distinct regions, each with unique resources, enemies, and NPCs to meet, encouraging exploration and experimentation. Wylde Flowers combines farming simulation with a magical storyline where you play as Terra, a young woman who moves to her grandmother's farm on a remote island, only to discover she comes from a lineage of witches. You'll manage your farm by planting crops, raising animals, and selling produce, while simultaneously learning witchcraft from a coven of witches who meet secretly in the forest. The farming mechanics are straightforward, with crop rotation, animal care, and resource management, but the magic system adds depth, as you'll gather ingredients to brew potions that can enhance crops, influence weather, or help townspeople with their problems. The social aspect is incredibly developed, with over a dozen romanceable characters of various genders, and a cast of islanders who interact with each other independently, creating a living community. Relationships develop through conversations, gift-giving, and helping with personal quests that reveal backstories and secrets. The story touches on themes of tradition versus modernity, acceptance, and finding your place as Terra navigates both her farming responsibilities and her magical heritage. The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom flips the traditional formula by putting you in control of Princess Zelda herself after Link and the King are mysteriously captured by rifts opening across Hyrule. Instead of swinging a sword, Zelda uses the Tri-Rod to create echoes, magical copies of objects and defeated enemies that she can summon to solve puzzles and fight battles. The gameplay revolves around experimentation, as you discover new echoes and figure out creative ways to use them, like stacking beds to reach high places, summoning boulders to weigh down switches, or creating monsters to fight for you. You'll explore a top-down Hyrule filled with dungeons, towns, and wilderness areas where rifts have torn reality, creating still world sections where people are frozen in time. The story has Zelda working with the mysterious, fairy-like being Tri to close these rifts and save Hyrule, while uncovering what force is behind the catastrophe. Combat is less direct than traditional Zelda games. You'll position echoes strategically and let them do the fighting, while you support from a distance or use Zelda's limited melee options. A short hike drops you on an island with one simple goal. Reach the summit of Hawk Peak Mountain to get cell phone reception so you can receive an important call. You play as a bird named Claire, who can walk, run, climb, and glide around the island, exploring at your own pace with no time limits or pressures. The climbing system uses a stamina meter represented by golden feathers. You start with a limited amount, but can find more scattered around the island or earn them by helping other visitors, gradually increasing how far you can climb and glide. The island is filled with side activities and characters like racing down trails, fishing in lakes, finding hidden treasures with a metal detector, or playing stickball on the beach. Every character you meet has a small story or request, from an anxious runner preparing for a race to a painter looking for inspiration, creating these brief but memorable interactions. The game takes maybe 2 to 3 hours to reach the summit if you go straight there, but most players will spend more time exploring every corner of the island and completing side objectives. The art style uses a pixelated 3D approach with a gorgeous color palette that shifts as you climb higher, creating this nostalgic yet fresh visual experience. Little Kitty Big City has you playing as a house cat who accidentally falls from their apartment window and must find their way home through a bustling city while causing adorable chaos along the way. The gameplay focuses on exploration and light platforming as you climb buildings, squeeze through fences, and navigate rooftops across different neighborhoods. You'll collect fish as currency, which can be spent on hats and accessories to customize your cat, though mostly you're collecting them because cats love fish. The main path home is straightforward, but the game encourages exploration through side quests from other animals, like helping a crow start his own business, assisting a tanuki with his mischief, or finding specific items for various characters. The game leans into cat behavior, with mechanics like knocking objects off ledges, taking naps in sunbeams to refill your energy, and causing general mayhem for the humans who either find you adorable or want you gone. You'll unlock new abilities as you progress, like climbing higher surfaces or accessing new areas of the city. The city feels alive, with pedestrians going about their day, weather changes that affect the environment, and plenty of interactive objects perfect for batting around. Spiritfarer casts you as Stella, a fairy master for the deceased, who guides spirits to the afterlife aboard a magical boat that you'll gradually expand and customize. The gameplay combines resource management, farming, crafting, and exploration as you sail across a beautifully hand-drawn world, finding spirits who need help resolving their unfinished business before they can move on. Each spirit represents a passenger with their own personality, backstory, and needs. You'll build structures on your boat like guest houses, gardens, and workshops to accommodate them, while learning about their lives and relationships with Stella. The farming and cooking systems have you growing ingredients and preparing favorite meals for your passengers, while crafting involves gathering resources from islands to build new facilities and upgrade your boat. Platforming sections appear when exploring islands for resources or helping spirits with specific tasks, though the movement is forgiving and focused on exploration rather than challenge. The game deals with themes of death, loss, and letting go in a thoughtful way, as you grow attached to spirits before eventually helping them pass through the Everdoor, the gateway to the afterlife. Stardew Valley has you inheriting your grandfather's old farm plot in a small rural town, escaping your soul-crushing corporate job to build a new life from the ground up in the countryside. You'll spend your days clearing the overgrown land, planting and harvesting crops, raising animals, fishing in rivers and oceans, exploring mines filled with monsters and resources, and building relationships with the 30-plus townspeople who each have detailed schedules and storylines. The gameplay loop is incredibly flexible. You can focus entirely on farming and become wealthy through crop optimization. Dive deep into the combat-focused mines, searching for rare materials. Pursue all 12 marriage candidates through heart events that reveal their personal struggles. Or just fish and forage while ignoring everything else. The town itself feels alive, with seasonal festivals, evolving relationships between NPCs, and a community center restoration quest that gradually unlocks new areas and features. As you progress, you'll unlock quality sprinklers that automate watering, barns and coops for animals that produce valuable goods, and crafting recipes for machines that process resources into artisan products. And that's our top 20 cozy games on Nintendo Switch. What's your favorite cozy game? Drop it in the comments below and let me know if there are any relaxing titles you think I missed. If you enjoyed this list, hit that like button and subscribe to SwitchTop for more Nintendo Switch content. Thanks for watching and happy cozy gaming.